Just know if I diss you, I make sure you know that I hit you like I'm on your caller ID.
Can we talk about the prophetic words of J. Cole's verse on now the infamous song known as First Person Shooter? Let's just start it off real quick before we run this down. Niggas so thirsty to put me in beef, dissecting my words and start looking too deep. I look at the tweets and start sucking my teeth. I'm letting it rock because I love the mystique. I still want to get a song with YB. Now, at this point in time, J. Cole is responding to NBA Youngboy because NBA Youngboy got on a song called Fuck the Industry Part 2 and he dissed J. Cole for not showing up to a studio session. Now, that can be very simple. That is where it leaves, an aspiring rapper saying, can you please, J. Cole, get on my track? And then J. Cole was like, I think I want to ride a bike that day. Understandable. Moving forward now, looking back in hindsight, the prophetic verse and words from the likes of J. Cole concerning his verse on First Person Shooter actually can be applied to Drake as well. Dissecting his words, looking to put him in beefs, we understand that Drake was attempting to use J. Cole as a toy soldier to get at Kendrick Lamar, somehow to wear his energy down, and then Drake can walk in the room and cut his head off smooth and clean, and they can both ride off into the sunset together like double dragons. Of course, we know it did not go that way. J. Cole also states, talking about you can't trust everything you saw on IG. Now remember, there's a lot of things going on not only on Instagram, but Twitter with a lot of these said alleged UMG accounts making up these narratives about Metro Boomin or Kendrick Lamar, or even somebody else that may counter the narrative that Drake won the battle concerning him and K-Dot. Now, what's equally interesting and possibly more captivating is the notion of this project that everybody has been waiting for called The Fall Off. Ironically, The Fall Off several times was supposed to have been released earlier, but for whatever reason, J. Cole had been pushing the album back, and he has been pushing the album back. It is set to be released this year. At least that's the last time I saw any date attached to this said elusive project. But he says, I'm naming the album The Fall Off. It's pretty ironic cause ain't no fall off for me. Well, who is he talking about? One could argue as it stands right now, we're looking at Drake having one of the greatest fall offs in rap hip hop history. Even way worse than Ja Rule. But with The Fall Off, now that it's more than likely going to be released a little bit later on in the year, it's interesting that J. Cole was tapped by Schoolboy Q, and the narrative goes is for him to sit this one out. And even if you look at the First Person Shooter video, between J. Cole and Drake playing chess, it is actually Drake's chess piece, The King, that takes a nosedive. Oh wow, isn't that life imitating art, or is it the other way around? I don't know, maybe it's just a bad jinxed video. Whatever the case may be, one could argue, especially with the shots that Drake has been taking at J. Cole while he's been battling Kendrick Lamar, I could expect that somewhere, somehow, J. Cole more than likely may use Drake as a muse for The Fall Off. I mean, we are witnessing this in real time. This is something that Sin and I have been talking about behind the scenes, and it will be something that looked like it may be played out. I mean, why not? Because Drake is dissing you all on these records. At the same time, you were on tour with him, and you guys kind of had like a Brody Broski energy with each other, so it looked like everything was fine. But also, is J. Cole that smooth with his bars that maybe J. Cole could be possibly a part of the plan? I mean, it would be ironic or unironic if J. Cole does drop The Fall Off and people are listening by track 4. Hey man, this don't sound like that boy Aubrey. And then we more than likely will be getting that long-awaited project between J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Remember, Kendrick Lamar is independent, so he pretty much can do whatever he wants, and J. Cole had recently bought his masters. The things get a little bit more interesting. J. Cole is pretty intelligent with his lyrics. It's like we recruited your homies to be demon deacons. We got them attending your wake, and there has been a cultural burial as it stands right now of the likes of the MK Ultra Mind Control project persona known as Drake. The Fall Off also ironically slides right into the notion of a demigod-like personality taking a hard fall in the culture. Definitely will be very interesting how this all plays out. Leave your comments below, guys. What do you think about this? Is J. Cole a quiet, silent sniper? Was he sending subliminals to Drake, who was being a himbo in the video? Maybe he was dancing to his own demise.
Turn your back on me.
Is that a challenge?
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
White folks are nosy. They have specials. Nosy specials. Why does a bee make honey? You ain't a bee. Why do you give a fuck?
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
If he dies, he dies.